our children. The children are just kind of growing up on their own. Because I've seen some kids that are they just go at it, and who cares whether it's the teacher or the parent or the priest or the whatever. You came to speak at some kids when I was doing a entrepreneurial class.
That's right.
And those kids before you got there.
Yeah.
Oh, they were a little wild, and we had to put some boundaries in place for them to respect.
So calm them down.
They were calmed. 12 weeks. And then when you guys came in with your story, and his story, so tell your story, because it's very powerful and very impactful.
Well, not a lot of people know me, knew that I grew up in a impoverished condition. I was in Gary, Indiana, and during that time, it wasn't about the Jackson 5. It was about gangs invading Gary from Chicago called the Blackstone Rangers, drugs, fights. It was a tough time for Gary. My mom, picking up on that, sent me to live with my grandfather. Yeah. And that one move changed my life. That was the first time that I ever saw someone who was my color, who was totally independent, totally self-made. The people that I grew up around either had hourly jobs or they committed crimes to make money. Wow. So that was a stark contrast between my grandfather and the people I grew up around. The difference was I connected with him, and it caused me to look at life differently. It caused me to react to things differently. Without that, I don't know where I'd be. It caused me to have a deeper vision of what I could be. Right. I saw him, Gilbert, I'm thinking, well, if he could do that, then maybe I could do something.
That's right.
And so my whole life since that time has been about speaking to kids, doing things that help propel them to see what their full potential is.
Great. So how have you ever used the book as guidance in conducting workshops with these kids?
Yes, that's a great question. I'm doing that right now.
Oh, good.
As a matter of fact, the book has been outlined to have questions after each chapter, because the thing that I found that helps me the most is doing a workshop and having the parent and the kid there, not just the child. The ability for them to connect and pair causes them to get greater traction quicker. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's so good. The book is written actually at a level where parents can read and understand and kids can read and understand. I'm just trying to create that conversation that they need to have.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
Well, Crystal mentioned something about how we raise kids today, and I want to tell you something that I've noticed. And I don't want this to put any shade on any of us. Kids are smarter than we were. My daughter, Gia, who's 16 now, has outdistanced me in a lot of areas at 16. And so the way that I'm trying to raise her right now, and you met her when we came to tennis, the way that I'm trying to raise her right now is through communication as opposed to being a dictator. Right. We talk about things, we work on them, and I'm happy to say that she's a good child. She didn't get that way accidentally, and there were some times that we had that I think were